Hello, glitter fans and YouTube folks. Welcome back to Grapes and Glitter TV. I'm your host, Revi Rose, aka. Okay, so wait, before we get started on this video, let me first give a shout out to my shorty. Y'all clearly see my hair is different. My girl, Paris Noelle Jackson, is out here killing the game. She's over here making wigs, so if you definitely want to get you one, I love the hair. It's super silky. She colored it just the way I wanted, and it fits perfectly, and it was custom made for me by my girl. So if you guys want to be looking fabulous and don't have a lot of time, y'all know I'm a new mom, then definitely you want to reach out to my shorty. So I'm gonna put her information below, so make sure you hit her up. Okay, so go ahead and jump into this video. Today's video is going to be obviously about wine. I told you guys next week we were going to talk about the reds. This week, but this is the one we're going to talk about today. Apothic Crush. So Apothic actually has an entire line of different types of wines, and each of them have their own unique flavors, and I really love the look of the bottle. It's definitely not a super expensive wine, one of your cheaper dinner wines, but the bottles always look so elegant, and I'm a big label person when I'm walking, so you definitely have to have a good label on that. Okay.
So we're going to talk about a little bit about Apothic. I'm going to let you guys know what I think about the wine, how it tastes, and basically a little bit of background about this type of wine. Also, we're going to talk about vintage years, so that's my wine tip, or wine language, more to speak, tip for the week. So we'll be talking about what wine vintage years are and what's the purpose of those. So if you're interested in either of those things, please stay tuned, continue to watch Grapes and Glitter TV, and let's jump into the video.
So before I say anything, I want to make this a little bit less formal, because I feel like I've been really trying to be formal with you guys, and in all honesty, we know this whole channel is about growth for myself and inspiring you guys to grow. And I don't know nothing as far as reviewing about wine. A lot of people think I'm an expert because I started making these videos, but that's not the case. I want to learn more about it. So yeah, so we're gonna do this a little bit different. Before I make videos, I typically take notes. So I made a couple notes of things I wanted to talk about specifically with the wine. So I'll be doing a little bit of reading, but for the most part, like, yeah, I'm not gonna try to memorize this because I don't know, and I tried. But over time, we'll learn, and different wines we come up, we'll try to just go off the tongue, but I'll read what a couple of people have said about it and some things I've researched on it. So back to the wine. All right, so this is Apothic Crush. Like I said, I love this line. Apothic Red is actually the start of the line. That's the original flavor. You've probably seen them in your grocery stores. You can find them in Total Wine, you can find them in Kroger, you can find them in Trader Joe's. I found this at Whole Foods. So yeah, they're everywhere. A lot of different things, some good meals, and if you're a beginner, you don't really have a specific type of grape that you like per se when it comes to red. Like I said in our last video, whites are kind of for your beginner drinkers, but if you're entering the red, an Apothic wine is really good because it's a blend wine. There are different types of blend wines out there, but blend wines are really good because they're a little bit cheaper, obviously, but they actually harvest a few different grapes at a time when they're actually going through the wine process. So with this one, you don't just have a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Merlot. You have a mixture of that plus a Syrah. all those different types of grapes, so they're all into one. So this blend specifically with Apothic, you have Zinfandel, Merlot, Syrah, are all the blends in a Cabernet Sauvignon, obviously. 4 grapes that you will have in this blend. Different percentages depending on the harvested time of the year, and that's where we get to the vintage year. So the same exact wine, because it's a blend, 2014 can taste totally different, well, not totally, but a little bit different than a 2017 wine. So that definitely makes a difference, and I'll explain why in a minute. But this is the Crush blend. The other types of Apothic wines out there, again, the red is the original. There's a sparkling version of it, really, really good. Crush, obviously, dark. There's a white, there's a rose, an Inferno, and a Brew. So they kind of give you a different taste. You can kind of tell by that name that they give you a taste that is going to reflect the mood that they are giving you. So the dark is obviously probably going to be very rich and bitter, and your Crush is obviously going to be kind of sweet and velvety, which it is. So let's go ahead and try that though. So here I have some here. Poured at the correct volume, give it a couple of twirls there. And you can see it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful burgundy red. I don't know if you can see that color. I'm gonna give it a couple swirls for you. But you can see it's a beautiful red color. You can see that there are no bubbles. So like our Moscato last time was a little bit on the Dolce acidity side. There are none here. It's a very smooth palate wine, very dark, not that transparent, so that's a what? Very full-bodied. So we talked about that. And let's talk about how it smells. So yeah, very fruity. And I can smell, this is what I learned, notes, which are hints of caramel and chocolate, but lots of berries. Smells like a little bit of blackberry and raspberry. Definitely mixed in. Of course, you have the strawberries, so really fruity and sexy. But that long kind of peppery smell of chocolate is really, really strong, and it kind of wakes you up at the end, but it marries very well with the rest of the fruit. So let's taste this bad boy. Very good. Very, very good. Very smooth. Again, very fruity. But you definitely have that bitter chocolate at the end, but makes it a very sexy wine. I can tell this is a hit for dinner parties. Real good wines for conversations. I would pop this by myself, to be honest. That's kind of what you would do with any wine, but this is a very nice dinner wine. So things I would pair this with, stews, steaks, lamb, anything that can get that char-grilled kind of taste, or kind of like a stewy, steaky taste, gravy smothered. This wine is going to be really good with that. About the vintage years. So I mentioned earlier that there are years on wines, and those are pretty important depending on how you want the wine to taste, even if they're all coming from the same type of berry or grape. So you can see here, this says 2016. If you look at any bottle of wine, you'll see a year, and typically the location or area in which the wine is typically fermented and made. So this is 2016 California, which lets me know that the grapes were harvested in 2016, obviously in California. Apothic is actually one made in California's largest wineries, so EJ, I believe, so check that out. So these actually got an 89 from points from the Vin Italy Wine Experts Point Enthusiasts. So 89 in 2016, and was an 87 in 2012. So that definitely makes a difference. Obviously lets you know California had some rough weather a couple of years. That leads me into my next topic of what that actually means. So depending on where your wine is actually made, the hemisphere. So if you have an Australian, let's say Zinfandel, and you have a California Zinfandel, both made in 2016. But obviously those are in separate times of the year, and that can affect grape harvest. You can tell that we're harvesting grapes at different times, but the year in general, depending on what's happening, can make or break the taste of the wine. So that's good to know. So if you didn't know that about vintage years, now you do. So that's a good conversation starter with a wine expert, someone that knows a little bit about wine. It's kind of fun to talk about the years and maybe learn a little bit about an area that you never knew about. So it's kind of like social studies. Wine can teach you a lot about culture, different areas, so it's definitely nice to know those geographical aspects of the different areas where wine is created. What I found, what I attempted to do last time by myself, but I found a insert, or I'd say a synopsis of defining this type of wine so that you guys get a taste of how wine language is supposed to be delivered actually. So it's very descriptive. It almost sounds like you're telling a story when you're reviewing about wine. You have to give lots of adjectives, and you have to describe the wine to a T. So imagine if someone could not taste and could not see and could not smell. All they could do is hear. And you're explaining to them what this wine smells, looks, and tastes like, that they would be able to experience that. So that's exactly how it comes out. And that's not an easy task to do. It took me a while to figure out how to do that writing-wise. So now actually saying it off the top of your head, it takes some practice. So let's read about what the critics think about Apothic Crush. So grilled plums, bell pepper, and saddled leaf, what I wrote. And saddled leaf, okay. Bell peppers. Grilled plums, bell peppers come through on a nose of this red blend, on a lust nose. Berry soaked, earthy, full body palette, singing with cherry cobbler, singing, intertwined with oaky and vanilla flavors, lavishing and lavishing and lovely. So that was a mouthful. Obviously I can't read what I wrote, but really it takes practice and tasting different wines. But you can see it's so fun to learn a little bit about somewhere that you've never been. Interested in learning a little bit more about wine, keep these tips coming, keep the reviews coming, let me know. I will keep doing these. Next week we will be doing a makeup haul. So yeah, if you want to see how I did this look or what products I use, because I definitely just went shopping at Sephora and dropped too much money. Please don't tell nobody. All right, anyway, if you guys are interested in the products that I actually use to create this look, please stay tuned and subscribe to my channel, Grapes and Glitter TV. Again, this is a place where we aspire to inspire. So continue watching, and yeah.